Hey guys, today a video about WoW Classic Plus, World of Warcraft Classic Plus, my wishes for it, my expectations, what I think would make the game definitely better. We see a big demand on Classic Vanilla, but I think also the people are fine with some changes, some quality of life changes that makes the game more interesting for a lot of people and just makes the game better overall. So let's hop over it. Okay guys, so let's talk about what we can expect or what are my wishes for World of Warcraft Classic Plus. Um, I think the first thing, I for sure I made some notes, so this will be not 100% on the fly. So I guess the first point that we definitely need to talk about it is class balance. Um, we all know that in Classic, Warrior is above all. Then we have Rogue and Mages pretty close together. And then we have, I think Warlocks are doing okay, especially very late into the expansion. But apart from that, we have even classes they do not even the half of the damage that a warrior does with good gear, with world buffs and stuff like this. So I think that makes no sense in a Classic Plus to keep it like it is. I have no problem. Warrior stays the best DPS, that's no problem. One class, one spec needs to be the best of all, so it's not bad if something is the best. What is bad is the difference between all of them. Now the question is, would I nerf Warrior or would I buff the other classes? I think it's a little bit of mix of everything. We definitely have to talk about the world buffs thing. Warriors are benefiting the most from the world buffs. The second should be Rogue, if I'm not wrong. So if we cut world buffs, then already warriors are definitely nerfed. I think world buffs are in one thing an interesting point to show dedication to the game, but it's always on an annoying point. So definitely there needs to be something a little bit changed about the world buffs mechanic, how to get it, that you can maybe not get it stolen by other people before the raid or stuff like this. But this is another thing. But overall, I would prefer to buff other classes instead of nerfing just Warrior. Why? Because Warrior is working good, Warrior is a lot of fun for a lot of people, so why nerfing what is good for a big amount of the player base? So we need to work on the other classes. The question is, do we just buff them, like giving them more damage on certain spells? Or do we just maybe give them other talents, maybe talents from TPC, maybe talents from Wrath of the Lich King? I think that would be a very good point, because in Wrath is definitely also a big difference. Yeah, let us use the word big. There's definitely also a big difference between the best DPS, which is at the moment right now Affliction Warlock and Assassination Rogue, to the lowest DPS. The lowest DPS is the lowest DPS that gets serious at the moment, I don't know, is Frost Mage or Fury Warrior or Red Paladin. They are all kind of the same. So it's still a big range, but it's not as big as in Classic from a full buff warrior to another DPS class. So definitely something that we could change here up. I think I would prefer bringing new talents from Wrath and then maybe also buff other classes a little bit up, not too much, not too less. No problem if warrior keeps the strongest or stays the strongest. Maybe not in all phases, but yeah, we get maybe then more phases than just the normal ones. So we would see how this is working out. But also warriors have usually a very good scaling, so it's something that we need to figure out. And like I said, overall, I would definitely think the class balance is something that is a very important thing. Nobody needs any more for 2 years or maybe even more, just, I don't know, 25 warriors in a raid, steamrolling, face rolling on through every raid. That makes no sense, especially if we have a speedrun meta that is maybe also happening then. So next thing is gear. Let us talk about gear. Also a point that makes some classes very bad, for example Red Paladin, is that they don't have real gear. The gear that they need is maybe the same gear that warriors and rogues need and stuff like this, so they fight for the gear. Their T set is only for healing, which makes not a lot of sense that they only have one variant of T sets. Also about the other specs that are the same, like have the same problem that a Red Paladin. So yes, we need more gear. I mean, a classic plus indicates maybe that we have more dungeons, more raids. That means more gear, more different gear. But I also think that nowadays definitely T-sets should be available for every spec. That means a warrior should definitely have an DPS set and a tank set. Paladin, a tank, a heal, and a DPS set, in my opinion. That is pretty easy to get, and I think that would be very important. In my opinion, that would not change the spirit of the game. First, that's also something that I want to make clear. I don't want to change the spirit of the game, because the spirit of the game is awesome. Not everything is the same. Not every class has a stun. Not every class has an interrupt. Whatever, everything is fine like it is, but we need to make some quality of life improvements to bring the game to the next level and maybe enjoy it for another, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Yeah, maybe 10 years. Why not? Really, that's a question. Why not? That leads to the next topic. New dungeon and raids. A classic plus should definitely have new dungeons and raids. There were already some in the game, but I also see no problem, especially if it's directly from Blizzard, that they bring new dungeons into the game, also new raids. And yeah, that more content is always good. The question would be, is it necessary more dungeons in the early stages of the game, in the leveling process, or more into the end game? I think I would prefer more into the end game, especially also when we talk about raids. Raids are only for end game content for sure. Why not bringing here I don't know, we don't need time frequencies like in retail or whatever, but maybe one new raid per year? I don't know if that could be a lifetime thing. One new raid per year. Don't make the last raids items completely useless. Just a little bit of an upgrade, like for example from Blackwing Lair to AQ40 to Ankirai. I mean, definitely most Ankirai items are better, but you know, it's not like they're getting completely useless then. And that leads to another topic about the dungeons. I think everybody loves Dead Mines, for example, but the problem with Dead Mines is you played 1, 2, 3 times, whatever, on your leveling process up to, I don't know, level 20. Maybe you go a little bit later in 22. I don't know what is exactly possible. And then you don't see this dungeon anymore, especially when we only talk about one character. So the question is, how could we keep this dungeon important in the game? And that leads to one thing that maybe many people dislike, and I just take it as want to bring it on the table as a suggestion. One of the best things about retail WoW, or in that case we talk about Dragonflight, or the new, I think it started in Legion if I'm not wrong, is Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus leads to a thing that you have repetitive content, scaling dungeons. They don't need to be all dungeons available, but maybe Blizzard could do that. That is for endgame. That means all dungeons are scaled for level 60, and then better and better each level of the key, like plus 10, plus 11, plus 12. I think that would be awesome to have a Dead Mines Mythic Plus and stuff like this ready, or what else? Maraudon Mythic Plus, maybe then would be 2 dungeons, because when it's too big, then Blizzard sometimes decide to make the dungeons part into 2 instances. Stuff like this. And then the rewards, maybe the rewards is only the rating, and also the rewards would be more cosmetic. What could be possible? Maybe just different coloring from your gear. So that means that you maybe can, I don't know, maybe we have like 5-6 different colors, and I don't talk about pink or neon colors. I really talk about normal World of Warcraft, normal MMORPG colors like black, brown, gray, I don't know, dark green, dark blue, or whatever. And then, yeah, getting this to people as a reward if they get to a certain level and above. Or maybe mounts. Maybe mounts could be a nice reward for people. That would be very interesting. So don't give them more powerful weapons. Don't give them more powerful gear. Don't force the people to play Mythic Plus. That makes no sense. That would definitely kill the spirit of the game. But give the people that want to have repetitive content, give them a chance, and give them also a chance to show this to people. Like I said, with rating, maybe with titles, just titles and rating. Maybe with gear colors, I don't know, stuff like this. There would be a lot of options to implement a Mythic Plus without destroying the spirit of the game, in my opinion. Raid numbers, or a number of raid members, is 40 in Classic. Sul'Gurub and Ankirai is possible to do it in a 20-man instance. UBRS is a 10-man. Many people don't even see it as a raid, so I don't want to say it is a raid. But yeah, is the old 40-man raid style still good? I think no. Does it give a spirit to the game? Yes. Would it destroy the spirit to lower that number from 40 to something else? Yes and no. Does destroy Sul'Gurub or Ankirai 20, does this destroy the spirit of the game? In my opinion, far away from destroying the spirit of the game. So in my opinion, 20 or maybe 25 man, like in Ra, for example, would be a very good number for raiding. Because I think the 40 man stuff is a little bit antiquated, and it's just too hard to organize these numbers. Because think about, you don't need 40 people for having a 40-man roster. You need like maybe 50 people to have a 40-man roster. That means if you have 2 raid groups, which many guilds have, you need like 100 people to manage. And to be honest, I know it from the past. I know it from some of my old guild leads or from my current guild leads in Wrath. Maintaining a guild in that size is close to be a full-time job. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe definitely a part-time job. Definitely a part-time job, just to make that clear. So I think that is something that I definitely would change to lower the numbers of the players that are necessary for raiding. Let's talk a little bit about PvP. Do we need an arena? I think need is the wrong word, but I think definitely arena gives a little bit of a flavor into the game. The only bad thing about arena that I very, very dislike about arena, it makes open world PvP and battlegrounds kind of completely nonsense or unimportant. Because these games, it makes no sense anymore. You get much better gear in arena and things like this. So definitely, if they want to bring arena, they should look for that is not killing open world PvP and PvP in battlegrounds. I know it's something different, but again, I think Classic Plus should be not only for hardcore gamers. Classic Plus should be something that is for everybody, and that's also why I think that hard modes in raids should be not there. The raid should be easy, doable for everybody, and the better people just do it more faster. And it's a big difference if you are spending 3 hours in a raid or just 45 minutes, as an example. So yes, arena PvP, definitely we can do here more, we can do here better. Maybe also, yeah, I don't know, maybe trying to balance the game PvP wise with those things, like in arena or in battlegrounds there are some different effects or whatever, but that's not necessary in overall. I just think a classic plus should have arena, because we have it in TBC, we have it in RAF, or we have it in all the future expansions of the game. So I think classic plus should have arena, but please don't make then the mistake to that all the open world PvP and the normal battleground PvP gets completely unimportant. Next point, professions. They should be much more powerful. Not more powerful, don't get me wrong, for raiding, like for example, engineering. But I think there should be more focus on that. Also, you can create items for later stages of the game, or maybe you can even craft T sets or whatever. So professions are a big part in an MMO, and people should be using a lot of time getting their profession up, mastering their profession or whatever. And in World of Warcraft, definitely in Classic, it's a little bit like you go engineering and you get maybe one for not getting for that you have a little bit of money, and then that's it. It's like, yeah, you need a little bit more the flavor of the game. Like, yeah, this enchanter maybe should be have any benefit for caster. Like, I think later on in the game they have a benefit of getting this enchanting, but also in Wrath everybody is engineering, because that is 100% necessary to have it. And yeah, that's a little bit bad designed. Or I mean, also the other ones should be important, and also the one that you can create items, they should be very important to create later on very very powerful items, and not just as a gimmick. Debuff slots. I think in Season of Mastery that was already changed. Sorry if this is not correct. I did not play Season of Mastery, but I think I was reading something about it. Debuff slots, the limitation of debuff slots makes definitely no sense. Also, this is keeping some potential of other classes very low, so remove the debuff slot system. I'm not sure if there is any reason why there should be even a debuff slot debuff slot limit at all. If yes, then there should be a debuff slot limit, but the limit should be definitely not as low as it is in Classic. Pretty easy topic. I guess there are no real other opinions about it, and yeah, it just makes no sense at all. Yeah, let us talk about how easy or hard should be Classic Plus. Leveling is honestly pretty hard in Classic. Hard in case of it takes a lot of time. You can only, with most classes, you can only fight like 2, maybe 3 mobs, not more. It's not like in the later phases of the expansions of the game where you pull like, hey, how much mobs can I pull together, like 20, 30, and then you just burst them down with a lot of AoE or whatever. Most classes cannot do that in Classic. So that would be definitely not necessary to make here anything more harder. I think the point is very good. I also feel the length of how long the leveling process is going, I think that is fine. The way is the goal, and not the leveling process should be not just work that needs to get done. You should enjoy that already, that part of the game, especially when we're talking about a new game. Yeah, it's Classic Plus, so it's not new at all, but you know, don't feel always like I'm so in the rush. Maybe they can also put the I don't know, the raids are coming out 4th week after reset, or 6th week after the start of the new game or whatever. and before you can only do dungeons, UBRS and stuff like this. Raiding and dungeons should definitely keep the same. Mythic Plus, then if we would integrate it, you know how it works, gets harder every key level that you get or that you set it up. And raids, I think raids should stay easy. Everybody should be able to do every raid with his guild. If the guild is normal organized, for sure you cannot say like, hey, I cannot have 25 men, so I just going in with 18, and then you want that the game is the same like with 25. So but if you have a normal organized guild, you should be able to down every boss, in my opinion, and better guilds just do it faster and more efficient. That should be the difference, in my opinion. That makes people happy, because every older dead gamer, every super, I don't know, pro gamer should do the same. Just the ones are doing it faster and more efficient than the other ones. And then we have the speed runs, the parsing runs for people that are interested in those things, and the other people are just killing a boss, getting the loot, are happy, drinking a beer after the raid, and that's it. Achievements. Achievements came to the game. I don't know when. Was it in TPC or RAF? Sorry about that. In RAF, it's 100% already integrated. So, yeah, I think they could bring achievements. I'm not an achievement farmer. I'm far away from being an achievement farmer. But I know that other people really love it. And I see no reason to not give this option to the people. Why not letting people farm achievements, like killing 1,000 of those drakes, like I don't know, you know what achievements are, and I think for some people it's just a very nice thing to spend more time into the game. Mounts. In TPC and especially in RAF, we already get a bunch of mounts. In Classic, the amount of mounts is very, very, very limited. And when I say very limited, I really mean very limited. Mounts are fun. Mounts are fun for everybody. The top parser, the mount collector, the casual gamer, everybody likes to have mounts, especially when they are rare. So why not implementing much more mounts? I don't know what I exactly mean with the word much, but yeah, why not? Why not? Definitely no flying mounts. I really think, please, no flying mounts for Classic Plus. If you play Dragonflight, you feel that you need to fly because everything is worked around this. And I don't talk about dragon riding, I talk about flying in general. But the old lands is not for flying. Yes, you can also do it in TPC and in RAF. Okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is killing the game, but it's definitely a big difference of the spirit from Classic to the further upcoming expansions in the future. So no flying mounts, but mounts overall, definitely more. Why not? Why not more tigers? Why not, I don't know, more horses, more kodos? Maybe you can also customize them, like I don't know, color of the horse, or, and I'm not talking about red or whatever, but you know, colors of the horse. Maybe a raptor's color, or tigers, whatever, or a zebra, or just more mounts. Giving them for raids, giving them maybe for Mythic Plus would be an idea, maybe for PvP, but also just super easy ones that you can farm in certain areas. Reputation, stuff like this, people love it. I don't know why we started to think that all these things are bad, reputation grinding and whatever. People love to grind. Not everybody, but a lot of people that I know and a lot of people that are playing those games, they love to grind for rewards. And it doesn't even need to be rewards that makes them stronger. It is enough if it's a reward that is a new skin for a weapon or whatever. Yeah, stuff like this. Transmog. I would not implement transmog. I like that everybody looks like he looks, like the gear that he's wearing. But what I would implement is, I think it's called a dyer. I'm not sure. Something that you can colorize your gear if you have that reward. Like I said, I maybe would implement it by for raiding, maybe a super rare dungeon drop, maybe reputation, and then just normal MMO RPG colors like I said, black, gray, brown, dark green, dark blue, dark red, whatever colors that are matching into the game. And then people can go, instead of a transmog, they can go to this vendor or to this customizer, color customizer, and then they can open their character. And for example, right now on me, then maybe you see here red boots, blue pants. Maybe I could make the pants brown because I have already that color reward from playing Mythic Plus level 10 or whatever. It could be whatever, don't get me wrong. I think that would be a nice idea, but no transmog because the people should look how they look. Besides, what I really dislike is the crazy differences of colors that you are wearing. Heirloom gear for alts. The alt topic in general, the second character topic in general. In Classic, it is, I mean, depending on how much time you spend in the game, you definitely have the time to have a second character. But you know how long the leveling process and everything is going. I would keep the leveling process like it is. Many people would argue, no, we need 2 times experience boost. We need 3 times experience boost, like some private server have it. I would let the leveling process be exactly the same long, but I would give people the option to buy heirloom gear for their character, for their alts. And I also would do it like it is right now in Wrath. I'm not sure if it was already implemented in TPC, but in Wrath definitely, that you can buy 2 items that gives you each of them 10%. That would be meaning you have 20% upgraded your experience gain. And I think that is a good number that would still take very long, but it gives you a rewarded feeling that you also can work for. Maybe costs a lot of gold. Maybe you have to raid for getting it. Maybe you need reputation up in all 4 big cities, the Naxx, Alliance, or Port, depending on which side you play. And it also gives you a little bit of feeling like, hey, with your alt, you have it a little bit more easy. Reason is because you already did a good job with your main character. I think that would be definitely something that they could think about for a Classic Plus. Last but not least, I think I would talk about the topic new classes, new races. I guess it's a controversial topic. I think many people would say, here we draw the line. We definitely don't want new classes, new races, and maybe especially not the races that they saw. I see a lot of comments about, hey, we would love Murlocs, we would love Naga, whatever, but we hate Pandas, we hate Trainer, we hate Blood Elf, or whatever. I would say that's a topic that you cannot make everybody happy. So, depending on which way the game would go, would the game be a very customized Classic Plus? And when I talk about a very customized Mythic Classic Plus, then I talk about Mythic Plus is implemented. Then I talk about new raids and dungeons coming always in a certain amount of time, maybe slow down like every year or something like this. When we have heirloom gear, when we have lower raid numbers for lower raid member numbers, when we have maybe a Wrath talent tree to make some classes available or practicable for raid, then we also can definitely talk about new races and maybe even new classes. I would not understand why this should destroy the game. Not sure if that would be easy to implement, because we definitely talk about level 60. Maybe we can talk about this one step, like another topic point, but okay. Not sure if it would be easy to implement DKs, demon hunters, and monks. At least no evoker. But you see where you draw the line here. I definitely would say evoker, never, please, never. I also dislike, to be honest. I think I'm fine nowadays with monk, DH, and DK. To be honest, I think nowadays I'm fine with it. If you would have asked me like a year ago, 2 years ago, I would say no. But now I think different, and now it's just the evoker where I think like no, this is not fitting into the game. And then yeah, also races. I mean, do we really want just classic like it is forever? Then okay, then hashtag no changes and just live with it. Definitely fine. Don't get me wrong. But if we make changes, then I think changes like new races could keep the game fun, interesting. And don't get me wrong, you are maybe one of the people that are watching this video and you think like, I play human, warrior, every time I go full pump into the raid, best spec in the game, I will make the most damage, every raid full world buffed or whatever. But I guess you like that the server is full and a lot of people are there, and not everybody is like you. And maybe other people feel motivated to come back or stay in the game if they know, hey, in 6 months there is the new race coming, Blood Elf, just as an example. And then they think like, yeah, but for getting this race I have to be on the highest reputation on all on this other faction or whatever. That would keep them maybe motivated to play the game every day, or definitely consistently. And maybe that's nothing for you, but I think also what is important in World of Warcraft, the game should have something for everybody. So maybe for the hardcore gamer it should have speedruns and Mythic Plus, but for the other person it should have mounts that they can collect, and yeah, maybe a new race every, I don't know, 2 years or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I would not have 8 or 10 new races here coming in a very short period of time, but over a certain amount of time, why not bringing a new race with new racials, you know, like maybe with a new starting zone. And the new starting zone is here in the old world. I don't know where, you know, Blood Elves could be here like they are in TPC and stuff like this. Yeah, I know. Do we really need mecha gnomes? I guess the answer is no. Do we really need Borgans? I guess the answer is no. But are Blood Elves that bad? Yeah, you know, it's like always how you see it, and I guess everybody has here different opinions, but I really think we could have it better with new races, and if the racials are not overwhelming in any case, bad or good. Yeah, racials, I would definitely keep that up. I think that's nice, but it's still also now in the game, still in the game. They are not powerful as more anymore in the past, but like here, for example, you know, with the Fear Ward from 12 Priest, which is so crazy that everybody wanted a 12 Priest in every raid, where a fear is a thing that can happen, like Onyxia or whatever, or Nefariat as well, right? I think. Doesn't matter. Okay, racials, I would keep that. I definitely would balance them. Would I balance them more? I think no. I just would look out that the new races that would come are also not stronger and also not weaker than the current ones. Then max level, I would keep max level 60. Why? leveling process is already pretty tough. Let me just see here my character that I play right now. I'm level 41. That could maybe now make you think like, okay, it's already like more than 60% of the way, but no, the higher levels they are, as longer it takes to level up. And I have already now 3 days and 17 hours playtime on that character. 3 days is 24, 24, 24. That is 72 plus 17. That means I'm already here talking about around 90 hours playtime. 90 hours playtime. The character is level 41. Sure, I was IFK, I was in the auction house, I was just traveling around. Don't get me wrong, it's not 90 hours playing full speed leveling or whatever. So it's definitely possible to be faster than me. No need to say that, but yeah, it is how it is. It takes a very long time to level up. So I think level 60 should be fine. Do we need more talent points? Good question. If we would get Wrath talent trees, because Wrath is overall definitely more balanced, then we would have to maybe make a little bit of different balance, because in Wrath warriors are pretty bad, so we would have to buff them and so on. So, but if we would get another talent tree than the classic talent tree, and I definitely think that we would get it, or we would get an overhaul of the classic talent trees, because some classes they just make sense, to be honest, then we would also need more talent points. And there are easy way to give more talent points. You could just give every 10 levels, like 10, 20, 30, 2 points, for example, or in other certain levels you could give 2 points, so that at the end you have, instead of the current 51, you could have 61, or whatever is necessary. Just to clarify that, whatever is necessary, they could definitely work that around. But I think max level should be 60. It is also for me an epic number. Don't ask me why, but always when I hear about a different max level than 60, I think like, this is not how it should be. Blizzard or World of Warcraft made here a very nice job at the beginning to choose level 60. I don't know why, it's just an iconic max level number in my opinion. Yeah, that was the last point in my list. I definitely think we get here some interesting things. Now maybe the one or the other guy thinks like, oh man, this guy wants to change everything, then it's not classic anymore. Don't get me wrong, not everything on my list needs to be done, especially not for me. Classic, I played right now at the moment, Classic Vanilla, Classic Era, Season of Mastery, however you want to call it, is an awesome game. But it is also an old game. People changed, things changed. Fans of this game genre are mostly not kids anymore. That means more organization things costs more time. People don't have maybe the time outside of the games to organize those things, like 40 man raids and stuff like this. Also endgame content. If you have everything, you could be a raid logger. Raid logging leads often to silently quitting the game. Mythic Plus can help to prevent that. More mounts, farming more mounts can help to prevent that. Better professions can help to prevent it, because maybe you think like, hey, next week I will just focus on blacksmithing, because then I can make this dagger. This dagger is helpful for all the rogues in our guild, but only I can do that because it's my specialization on that profession. Stuff like this. New zones, new races, new classes maybe can also motivate people. So yeah, it is how it is. You cannot make everybody happy. I think that should be also not the goal that Blizzard should have, but it should be the goal to revive Classic Plus. And I really think, and I know it's crazy, after close to 20 years, and next year World of Warcraft is 20 years old, if I'm not wrong. It is still the best game in the market, and they could revive it with a perfectly shaped Classic Plus. I really think that way. They could be once again a clear number one with a rebalanced, reworked Classic Plus that gives more things to the player but keeps the spirit of the old times. That's it for this video, guys. Like and subscribe. I really hope we see a Classic Plus, and I really hope we see it in a kind of near future. Not tomorrow, not a day after tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it will be not this year. But yeah, why not? Why not during next year a new Classic Plus? That's for it. That's it. Bye bye. See you.